Hi everyone, this is a training video on how to complete the IBHS progress note once we start billing out of Evolv. We have slightly modified the IBHS progress note so that we can do so. But before I dive into that, this is just a reminder about making sure that you review the credentialing video and get your credentials into your Evolv profile by Monday, 12/14. Under IBHS, as we move towards billing IBHS, the codes are credential specific, meaning there are specific codes as they are tied to your credentials. This is especially important for licensed individuals. So please reference that training video and of course ask your office AD if you have any questions about that. So this is the service entry case note section for Elmer Fudd. And on the morning of 12/17, you will no longer be able to select your role-specific progress note that you've been using since August. On the morning of 12/17, these will go away and the new modified note will be present. It's very important that for any session that you complete on 12/16 or prior, you at least get into Evolv and start the note that is due on 12/17 so that you are able to complete your progress note for any BHRS session. Once again, we're making the switch to start billing IBHS on 12/17. Therefore, any session that you have, even if you have a session on 12/16, of course your note isn't due until the 17th, but you have to get into Evolv and at least start your note on 12/16 so that you'll be able to select from these categories here. The modified note is called IBHS note billing. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And the note is, the content of the note is absolutely identical aside from this grid section, which I'll get into. For example purposes, I'm going to go ahead and say that I had a session on Monday, the 7th, let's say from 2 to 3. We're going to go ahead and select Montgomery County and home, and for example, so the specific role under IBHS has variable activity types, and this is going to be explained in an accompanying document that you will have. Your specific role will have, you'll have clarification on which activity types to select and when. For the example I'm going to give today, we're going to go ahead and say that I am a BCBA. And let's say that on Monday from 2 to 2:30, I worked on an assessment at the family's home. And that is from 2 until 2:30. And then I'm going to go ahead and select BCBA again. And here I started some treatment with family at 2:30 until 3. It's important to note here that the roles are always going to be the same, and you may or may not have different activity types for a session. Again, that's going to be outlined for you in the accompanied document, so we are asking for you to clearly reference that document. You may very well have a session as a mobile therapist that you just select treatment. So please just make sure that you're referencing that accompanied document. Another thing I want to note here is that the times are consecutive. So from 2 to 2:30 and then 2:30 to 3. And the start time here and the end time here accurately reflect what you put at the very top of your note. Again, depending on your role, you will be able to select different activity types. And we are just asking for you to reference that accompanied document because that will provide you with some clarifying details. The individual track looks a little bit different than the ABA track, so that's going to be able to provide you with a clear idea of what to select and when. Also, as a part of billing, we are removing paper encounter forms, and the parent signature will now act as that encounter form. So you will see that the content of the note is the same, and I'm going to scroll down here and show you the signature section. This is incredibly straightforward. We are asking for the parent during the session to, I should say not during, I should say at the very end of the session, to sign and capture their signature, which will timestamp. You can click save, and then you're also asked to input your provider signature as well. For billing out of Evolv, it is absolutely essential that the timestamp of the client or caretaker signature is after the end time of your session. We have a session here from 12/7 from 2 to 3. If I had this signature and the parent signed at 2:45, then we would not be able to bill until 3 o'clock. We would only be able to bill until 2:45. So again, it is incredibly important that the end time, end date, end time are accurately reflected as after or right after the session. It could be 3:01, 3:02, can even be a few minutes after, whatever it is, but we cannot bill unless it is after the time reflected at the top of your note. We are asking you guys just to review this, and any questions that you have to reach out to the leadership team, and we are happy to answer them at the beginning of next week. So please send us any questions or concerns that you have, and we will make sure that you are all set. Thank you again. Bye-bye.